Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I am here with day 20 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life Series 19 and 52 Weeks, 52 Favorite Photos YouTube Hop. That is a lot of numbers. And here's another one. Here is a 2-page sketch by Kim Moore Designs. And it has one large photo on the left and 4 smaller photos on the right. I'm actually going to flip-flop these, pretty much stick to exactly the sketch, but I'm going to move the larger picture to the right layout and the 4 pictures on the left. Now I'm using Pebbles Cool Boy. This is a collection I got not that long ago and I love it. It is so much fun and I'm excited that I found it and that I decided to just bite the bullet and buy it. So I have my papers, I have my embellishments, I have my pictures, and then I have this 2-page sketch. So let's see how this goes. So I already had some scraps with this collection, which makes me happy because that's what I love to use. I did end up cutting into a full 12 by 12 with the cars, and then on the back of the cars is that grid, like that white grid. So here it is, and I decide that I'm going to go ahead and use this and cut I think I did a 2-inch and a 1 and like close to 3/4 inch strip, and then I use some of the scraps that I have to trim this like tire tread paper right here, and then I have a what looks like a branding strip that is what it looks like at the end, but it's actually like this smaller piece of scrap that I'm going to cut into 1/2-inch strips and then cut those in half. And that way I'm going to have like it look like I have 2 long branding strips on both pages of this darker blue. So I'm sticking mostly with the blues, teals, and greens, but there will be other colors. This collection's got lots of great color in it. I want to map my pictures on white first, very thin white border just to help, because a couple of the ones that are going in the 4 are a little bit darker, and I love to lighten up the pictures with just a little white border. So this is me trying to figure out the best way to put these on here so that it breaks up the white, because I've got that white grid paper and then the white with like the tire tracks or tread, and I want to split those up, but I also want to split the blue up. So I do exactly that, and this is going to be the way that it ends up in this order right here. But you're not going to be able to tell that there is a gap anywhere because the pictures are going to cover that. So I am going to line everything up. I have trimmed my white paper down to 11.5, I believe. And so I cut a 1/4 inch, 1/8 of an inch off all 4 sides, because my trimmer is getting to that point where it gives you the paper boogies, and instead of fighting it, I leaned into it and just have the roughed up edges all the way around. And I'm fine with that if I'm not looking for a clean cut. Now I will flip my little mat around on my Creative Memories trimmer. I'm mad at my Tim Holtz trimmer right now, so we're not using it. It's kind of been put in timeout. So I've got my pictures down, or at least I have the strips down, and I am gonna get this matted on black. There is some black in this collection. It's mostly accents, because the majority of this is, like I said, quite full of color, but I feel like, especially with a white front page, that adding that black in the background is much more eye-catching. Now I could have used 2 papers from the collection, but I really didn't want to do that because A, I would have wanted to have got them, and B, I've got tons of black cardstock, and like I said, I typically am really happy with a black mat on a layout or even a picture. So I'm laying this here so that I can get the white papers mostly lined up. I'm not looking for perfection. If I was, I'd get out some measuring utensil and do all those things. It's fine. It's off a little, and the right layout is a little bit tilted up like the stripes are. It's fine. It really is quite perfectly fine. I don't get too stressed out about that stuff. Now, if it's something where like with these 4 pictures on the left layout, if those were crooked really bad, that might stress me out because they're supposed to be in this grid format to where, you know, you would notice if one of them was pretty askew, but perfection is not something I worry about. So I'm starting to pull out my embellishments, and I'm going to end up laying them down at the bottom since, you know, it's 2-page layout. It's hard to get them places where you can see them. I don't use a ton on here. I really don't over embellish. This is probably closer to a minimalist kind of layout for me than usual. I think the pictures and the strips of paper do a lot of the work. This picture on the top left is my grandson. The day that I'm recording this is the 30th of September, and this is from the 29th. So this is from yesterday. He was sick on Sunday, or, you know, he just wasn't himself. And we knew that he couldn't go to daycare because of some things that I'm not going to talk about on here because nobody wants to hear it. But he was not dealing well, and he wasn't eating food very much. And that's all I'll say about that. But he was puny and like wouldn't eat, wouldn't drink, wouldn't play. He was just kind of lethargic, but wouldn't nap very much either. So I kept him home because we knew he couldn't go to school with some of his symptoms. He didn't have fever or anything like that. It was really kind of strange. So in the morning, he got up at 5:30 in the morning on Monday, but was in good spirits. And at 6 in the morning, he's playing. That is the first picture on the top left. And then the next picture is after he and I finally fell back asleep about 6:30, and he woke up at 8:45, and that picture is at 8:49, right after he slipped out of my chair and was snuggling a pillow that I have that he loves. It has somebody's face on it. One of these days, maybe I'll document that here. But anyway, so he was snuggling on that. That's what the black thing right in front of him is this pillow. And then the bottom left picture is at 2:30 that afternoon after he'd had a 2-hour nap and was very lively. And then the next one is at 5:06, and he was in very good spirits. He ate perfectly fine. He didn't have any issues. And then, of course, the big picture over on the other side is in the middle of all of that. It's before his second nap. At 10:05, and I do write the times on all of these with just a black pen. I just wrote them on here because I felt like it was kind of a play-by-play of how his day went, and if you had not known he was sick or not feeling right the day before, you would never have known. So I took him back to daycare today, Tuesday, and they were like, "Are you feeling better?" I'm like, "Y'all would not have even thought he was sick if I brought him to school yesterday," but of course we had no clue what was going on. But anyway, so that I love this picture, all of them of course, but I love the picture on the right, and I wanted to put it over there partly because of the way he's standing, but also because it's kind of in the middle of the day and he's just as happy as could be. So, but I kept sending these to his mama so she would know, because she was at work and he was with me. I just kept sending the pictures to his mama so she knew that he was doing just fine. Also to his Nana so that she also could stop worrying. So, but I put this Superboy power on here and the little wild because he was absolutely wild. I did do some journaling. I do stamp the date on here. Go me. And then I put this free play all day because I thought that was absolutely fitting. And then the little lightning bolts, which I thought were super cute. That's it. I hope you'll go check out everybody's hopping along with 30 days of sketches, as well as everybody's hopping along with 52 weeks, 52 favorite photos. And I hope you will give me a thumbs up if you like this video and or my layout. I'd love it if you'd subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you all have a fantastic day. I hope you get a chance today to do something you love with someone you love, and happy scrapping.